To make a film where three thieves rob a blind man to be a good watch seems hard, right? Well, Fede Alvarez took that challenge on in his 2016 horror film, Don't Breathe, and boy did he do a kick-ass job. Let's not waste any more time and start the review. The plot of this film revolves around a trio of thieves who are tired of living in their crime-induced neighborhood. So, when they discover that a blind man is hoarding thousands of dollars somewhere in his house, they target him next. However, the blind man isn't going to let them go away unpunished, and has a few tricks up his own sleeve as well. Now this plot is amazing. Right off the bat, we already hate these three main characters, so it's easy to assume that this will be another Tales from the Crypt-esque tale where the horrible protagonist will be punished for our viewing pleasure. But this is a little deeper. You see, all these characters do horrible things, but there is still a side to them that is very human. That doesn't give them the right to do the stuff that they do, but it justifies it. There's a character named Money, who seems to be the worst of the three. He's a douche, but he does have some very funny lines that makes him kinda likable. Then there's Alex. Although he hacks into his dad's computer to find the next house to rob, there's still a side to him that reminds you he's still a kid. I just can't help but wonder how this poor boy got sucked into all of this. Also, there's Rocky. She's probably the only one who isn't exactly innocent, but she has a very good reason for the things she does. She has a daughter, so therefore, she must rob in order to keep food on the table. Rocky has also had a very dark past that sort of makes you sympathize with her. Finally, there's the blind man himself. He does some horrible shit that makes you fear him, but his backstory still gives him a very tragic side. Also, there's one trait to him that Rocky is able to relate to. Not gonna spoil it, but just watch the movie yourself. Now, one of the most important rules for horror is that in order to make the scare stronger, you have to make your audience care for your characters. This film was definitely aware of that rule, so I give plot an A+. Next category is acting, and I have to say it's pretty impressive. One of the actors, Dylan Minnette, was on 2 episodes of R.L. Stine's The Haunting Hour, so he's had some pretty good experience with the horror genre. Come to think of it, a lot of actors and actresses that were on The Haunting Hour seem to be entering the horror movie genre. The other 2 are amazing at making you hope they get what they deserve, but at the same time, get out alive. But the blind man? Forget it. His actor adds a trait of raging bull with a hair-trigger temper to his character. And from what I've heard, he actually had his eyes closed during the filming. So the fact he managed to navigate around the house as well as deal with the challenges of acting is highly impressive. I give acting an A+. Finally, let's talk about directing. And like I said, it impresses me that Fede managed to make a movie about a trio of thieves a good watch. He also did a good job with sound design. The blind man may not be able to see, but he can hear like a bat. So a lot of that sound in his house is emphasized, and the atmosphere he creates is haunting. That Fede creates is haunting, especially the scene taking place in the blind man's home, because it gives you a dreadful feel that the blind man may not be there, but he's definitely coming. And when he is there, you pray that the 3 thieves don't make a single sound out of fear that the deranged blind man will hear it. Hell, the title doesn't even seem like a gimmick. It's so quiet in that house that you can probably hear someone breathing. Anyway, I give directing an A+. Overall, Don't Breathe takes a very simplistic idea and executes it in the most complex way possible. The cast of characters aren't exactly saints, but they're likable enough to keep you on the edge of your seat and keep you watching. Bottom line, Don't Breathe is sort of in between being a horror film and a thriller film. It takes some pretty unexpected turns and it is guaranteed to pump your adrenaline and keep you in suspense. I give this film an A+. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more content.